Good morning, dear students. Today, I am welcome you all to know about the chapter 5 of the history when people rebel, that is in the year 1857, and what happened after the 1857. So, 1857, a great revolt was took place in India, which is also popularly known as the Revolt of 1857. Now, let us see what happened to the people of India for the policies adopted by the British in India. There, because there are different policies adopted by the British to annex the Indian land and territory, such as subsidiary alliance, doctrine of lapse, policy of paramountcy, like that. So, what happened with the help of this policy, or what was the reaction of the people of our country to these policies? The Nawab lost their power. Since the mid-18th century, Nawabs and Rajas had seen their power eroded. So many of the Nawabs lost their power because of these policies such as subsidiary alliance, doctrine of lapse, etc. So their power has been declining slowly. They had gradually lost their authority and honor. Okay, so from the policy of British, what happened? You see, the residents had been sanctioned in many courts. The freedom of the rulers reduced, their armed forces disbanded, and their revenues and the territories were taken away by the stages. Stage after stage, their disbanded, their forces were disbanded, and also the revenues and the territories also taken by the British. Many ruling families tried to negotiate with the company to protect their interests. For example, Rani Lakshmi Bai of Jhansi wanted the company to recognize her adopted son as heir to the kingdom after the death of her husband. Now, next we have to see the most important thing or the point of the chapter, that is the cause of the revolt of 1857. The first is the political cause. The company wanted to bring the Mughal dynasty to the end. The name of the Mughal king was removed from the coins minted by the company. In 1849, Governor General Dalhousie announced that after the death of Badr Shah Jafar, the family of the king would be shifted out of the Red Fort of Delhi. In the 1856, Governor General Lord Canning decided that Badr Shah Jafar would be the last Mughal king, and after his death none of his descendants would recognize as king, and they would just be called as princes. So the political cause. So these are the picture of the British governor, okay, and the Jhansi Rani. So Lord Dalhousie's policy of annexation and the doctrine of lapse had made the Indian rulers angry and insecure. So the Rani Lakshmi Bai of Jhansi was not even allowed to adopt her son as an heir to their kingdom. The second cause is the economic cause. In the countryside, peasants and zamindars were in a great trouble. They resented the high taxes. They have to pay very high taxes, and the rigid method of the revenue collection. So, as you know, there are different revenue collection systems such as permanent settlement, Malwari system. Okay, Malwari system. Then another one was Malwari system. Then another one that was okay. Many fail to pay their loans to the moneylenders and gradually lost the land they had tilted for generations. Military causes. Next point. The Indian sepoy In the employee of the company also had reasons for discontent. Discontent means they got angry against that. So the Indian Sepoy or the Indian Sepoy means the soldiers who work under the British, the Indian people. Okay, so they were unhappy about the pay, allowances, and condition of the service under the British. Some of the new rule violated their religious sensibilities and beliefs also. Many people believe if they will cross the sea, they would lose their religion and caste. That was the belief of people earlier. So in the 1824, when sepoys were told to go to Burma by sea road to fight for the company, they refused to follow the order. So they do not want to go to Burma from sea. In the 1856, the company passed a new law which stated that every new person who took up employment in the company's army had to agree to serve overseas if required. Okay, so the new law was passed that everyone they have to cross the sea. Military cause the immense discrimination between the British and the Indians. So the salary and allowances which has been given to British people who were the British under the British soldiers. Some are the Europeans, some are Indian. So Europeans were giving more pay, more allowances, but while the Indian sepoys or Indian peoples are paying very less. So because of that reason, Indian sepoys were discontent against the British. The next point is the next reason for the revolt was the socio-religious cause. The British believed that Indian society had to be reformed. Okay, laws were passed to stop the practice of sati. Sati system was to be banned, so encourage the remarriage system. English language education was actively promoted. After 1830, the company allowed Christian missionaries to function freely in its domain and even own land and property. In 1850, a new law was passed to make conversion to the Christianity easier. Company allowed an Indian who had converted to inherit and the property of his ancestors. Many Indians began to feel that the British were destroying their religious, social customs and the traditional way of life. So then the military cause. The military cause was the most important and immediate cause for the revolt of 1857. So it was been begin from Meerut to Delhi. On the 29th March 1857, Mangal Pandey was hanged to death for attacking his officers in Barakpur. You might have heard about Mangal Pandey. Okay. Sepoys refused to do the arm drill using the new cartridges coated with the fats of cows and pig. So new type of cartridges that has been introduced by the British to be loaded in the guns. So the cartridges were coated, suspect to be coated with the fats of cows and pigs. So because of that reason, the sepoys refused to do the arm drill and they refused to using this type of cartridges. Because before using it in the gun, they have to bite with the help of their teeth. So these are against of both Hindu and the Muslim people. So because of this reason, 85 sepoys were dismissed from the service and sentenced to 10 years of jail. So in response, the other soldiers in Meerut marched to the jail, attack and kill British officers. The soldiers were determined to bring the end of the British rule in India. So the rebellion spread and soldiers marched to Red Fort, wanting Bahadur Shah Jafar as the leader. So these 85 sepoys were dismissed from the service for 10 years on the 9th May, and the soldiers has been declared war against British on the 10th May 1857. So The rebellion spread again to the other places. The regiment started mutiny and took off to join other troops at nodal points like Delhi, Kanpur, Lucknow. Mutiny means when the military were against to their authority, then it is called as mutiny. Nana Sahib gathered armed force and expelled the British aggression in Kanpur. In Lucknow, British Qadar proclaimed new Nawab, and his mother Begum Hazrat Mahal took an active part in organizing the uprising against the British. So already you know Jhansi, the Rani Lakshmi Bai. In Jhansi, Rani Lakshmi Bai joined the rebel Sepoy and fought bravely along with the Tantia Tupi. But the company fight back. The company regain their control again after this revolt. The company decided to repress the revolt with all its might. They brought reinforcement from England, passed new laws. Delhi was recaptured from the rebel force in the September 1857. Bahadur Shah Zafar was tried in the court and sentenced to life imprisonment with his wife in Rangoon. So the Bahadur Shah was captured and he was sent to the court, or he was been sent to the Rangoon, and later on he died there. Lucknow was taken in the March 1858. Rani Lakshmi Bai was killed in June 1858. Tanta Tipu was captured and killed in the year 1859. A similar fate awaited Rani Avanti Bai, who embraced death when surrounded by the British on all sides. Hundreds of sepoys, rebels, nawabs, and the rajas were tried and hanged. Now, what happened after the revolt of 1857, which is called as after May? So the first, you see, these are the very important points that you have to be remembered after May. Many a time the question is coming in the exam. Okay, so just you very carefully see the points. What happened after the revolt of after 1857, which has been known as after May? The British Parliament passed a new act in 1858 and transferred the power of East India Company to British Crown to ensure a more responsible management of Indian affairs. So earlier, the India was ruled in the name of British East India Company, but after 1858, after the revolt of 1857, the rule of India was transferred to the British Crown. The Queen will be directly control the administration matter of our country. All the ruling chiefs of the country were assured that their territory would never be annexed in future, and they were allowed to pass on their kingdoms to their heirs. It was decided that the portion of Indian soldiers in the army would be reduced and the number of European soldiers would be increased. The land and property of the Muslim was confiscated on a large scale and they were treated as suspicion and hostility. The British decided to respect the customary religious and social practice of the people of India. The policies were made to protect the land lords and zamindars and give them security of the right over the lands. Okay, this is the picture of India during the time of revolt. So you have to know the important centers of the revolt of India, which has been necessary to locate these places in the map work. So with this short slide, I try to make you understand about this chapter, Revolt of 1857. Hope all of you have understood. Thank you. Have a nice day.